Louis Pasteur, revolutionary scientist, most famous for his groundbreaking work on vaccines and his incredible germ theory. This is your life.
Mr. Pasteur, in the 1850s, whilst you were becoming interested in certain microorganisms, a French brewing company asked you to find out why their vats of alcohol were going bad.
Yes, I was financed by the French brewing company to investigate these vats and see what was inside them. In my studies, I found there was a particular kind of microorganism growing vigorously inside the vats, which was making the beer, or wine, go bad. So, I analysed this germ and therefore found a serum for it. And what you would do is you would boil the water, and which would kill all the germs.
Excellent, excellent. This won you renown throughout France.
Yes, it did. Throughout France, and including Germany, where a rival, Robert Koch, then tried to steal my thunder.
Yes, Mr. Koch. At this time in your life, a young German scientist by the name of Robert Koch was rapidly rising to prominence in the scientific world. Him and his team, using your work on germ theory, were able to identify the causes of both tuberculosis and cholera. This must have infuriated you greatly.
Yes, I was very angry. Using my work on germ theory, the Germans had got ahead of the French, because we were in a bitter war at the time. But luckily, the French government, seeing that we were behind almost in technology, pooled a lot of their resources and gave us a lot of money, me and my research team. And with this money, me and my research team gained back the lead on the Germans.
Yes. You had a real crack team of doctors and vets and researchers at the very forefront of science in France. And it was with this team, trying to regain your status as the scientific darling of the world, that you discovered your first vaccination.
Yes, my first vaccination was actually quite by accident, although we don't want to say that because some Germans might be hanging around.
Yes, quite.
Yes. So, one of my interns, well, I would say interns, but he was very, very good, but a bit lacking in the common sense area.
Yes.
He left a dose of our highly, well, I don't want to say it, but highly strung disease of cholera. He left it out on the side, so it just went into the air. Of course, it didn't do any damage to us, but some chickens got infected with a low dose of it. So we put the low dose in, but they didn't die. So we tested this by injecting a high dose of cholera into them. They, again, didn't die.
Astounding.
I know. We injected a high dose of cholera into another group of chickens, and they did die. So, we realised that the body's immune system could overcome it, and therefore protect against it.
So, by injecting the body with a weaker form of cholera, the body then became immunised against a stronger form of cholera, and you realised that you had created your first vaccination.
Yes, following after Edward Jenner.
Yes, excellent.
Outstanding.
I believe you named the vaccination after Edward Jenner's work on smallpox, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Fantastic. Despite suffering a severe stroke, which paralysed the left side of your body, luckily it seems we've abated for the course of this interview, you continued to dedicate yourself to what you considered to be the greatest challenge of all, finding cures for disease. After your chicken cholera success, you moved on to rabies, and in 1882, after 2 careful years of research, you were able to find the vaccination for rabies, a horrible disease with very slow and painful death. This led to you becoming yet more famous, and you had people flocking from all over Europe to your clinic in Paris.
Yes, well, rabies was a great killer. And after my vaccine on this, which immunised pretty much the whole of Paris, I did move on to other diseases. Now, anthrax, we did very much the same technique as chicken cholera. Well, this time we had 50 sheep. We had 60, but we kept another 10 for sort of spare sheep.
Yeah, a very public demonstration.
Oh yes, it was very public. 25, of course, we inoculated with a weak germ of anthrax, which had been exposed to the air for a very, very long time. And the other 25 we inoculated, well, not inoculated, we gave the full dose of anthrax. Now, I made some predictions that before, well, the next day, that the 25 sheep that had been given the strong dose of anthrax would be dead. Now, by 12 o'clock, 23 of them were dead. At 1 o'clock, the 24th died, and an hour later the 25th died.
Yes, but the ones with the weak vaccination survived.
Yes, all survived. After that, we gave the ones with the weak vaccination a very strong dose of anthrax.
Yes, yes.
And they survived. So, another
Yes.
vaccine for anthrax.
Excellent, excellent work. Really, really quite fantastic.
Yes.
So, you rose to fame for your excellent scientific method and your, quite frankly, game-changing discoveries.
Yes.
You really did revolutionize science. It has been a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Okay.
Now I must go play croquet.
As you can see, Mr. Pasteur was a scientist of the most dedicated kind. Yet, even he did find the time for the odd spot of recreation.